Hey everybody and welcome to my review of One Piece 1K in 16. I've had some low expectations for this one, especially in terms of animation, and I do have my issues with it, but surprisingly I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I initially thought because of the creative direction on display. The episode is directed by Yasunori Koyama with the help of Yutaka Nakashima. The animation director is Shigefumi Shingaki, with the rest of the animation being outsourced. Before I start, I want to make something clear. This doesn't apply to only weekly anime, but even high quality anime outsource their episodes and can have conservative episodes. It is impossible for One Piece to maintain the same quality every single week, and despite that, Wano is so strong that even its worst can have amazing moments. So before you rage out and call this the worst episode ever, which is false, learn to be logical. This doesn't mean criticism isn't allowed for this episode, because I have my issues with it that I'll mention later. But try to educate yourself on anime production instead of blindly going on a rage. The episode adapted most of chapter 1001, and I'm glad it didn't adapt the whole thing, considering the episode being conservative. So had it adapted the last action bits, I think that would have looked extremely underwhelming. I want to start by saying the music choice for this episode was perfect. Each moment had the proper atmosphere, and that speaks on Koyama's abilities because it's something he's never missed at before. There was mainly one moment I'm looking forward to the most, which is Kaido comparing Luffy with these legends, and I actually loved it. I thought the moment will be done in a more casual way, but Koyama's use of empty space with the proper timing to use silence and music made this very good. We see each legend individually, then we get a rotation shot of Luffy, and the tiny effects symbolizing the soul of these legends gather in this empty space to form the iconic frame. It's nothing too crazy, but I'm satisfied with it. After that, we kind of get like a Haki clash, and this is by far one of my least favorite bits of the episode. On paper, this idea is fine because it adds intensity to the confrontation, but there's only so much good direction can do. Visually, this did not look good in my opinion, but gladly it doesn't last long. I do like the transition from it to the zone Koyama opens up for the Thunder Bagua. I loved how Koyama depicted Luffy's future sight. We go back to the empty space with silence. This is one of the moments I was curious about how they would handle, considering episode 915 changing the point of the attack, but I'm actually surprised with how well it turned out. We see the scenario of Luffy not dodging with him actually taking the hit. This reminds me of Marineford's Luffy vs Mihawk, except with more clever direction. Unfortunately, this brilliant idea is held back by the limited animation, which is why it's good but could have been a lot better. Zoro's attack was handled really well with great art, but what I love the most about this section is the sudden change in tone, ending the first part with an intense cliffhanger. Now, this part of the episode is the best and worst simultaneously. The best directed with amazing use of colors, selling each moment properly from comedy to anticipation to seriousness. Also the sacrifice that saved this episode considering the limited resources, but it's also the worst because of Shingaki's art on Black Maria and Sanji having some weird moments that I'm not a fan of. Sanji did get also good moments at the same time, which makes this so conflicting to me. I laughed and I cringed. So I better go extra hard on his fight because Sanji is about to get cooked for a long time because of this. The weird proportions on Law, Kaido being fat, Black Maria looking weird, but that does not mean the episode didn't have, for the most part, solid artwork. The animation highlight of the episode is Zoro and Killer's attack. It had some really nice impact frames, and at first I thought it was reused from the Kamazo fight, but it actually looks slightly different. I like the framing thanks to the storyboard, and the attack was impactful thanks to the proper use of silence and impact. If you have watched my previous video on Koyama, I talked about how he loves using the tool or body part appearing before the final shot. I like that in the final scene with Gear 4th Luffy. The cliffhanger ends with a well animated Gear 4th punch. Overall, I would say this episode was good, not great, not amazing, not perfect, but good. Producing episodes on 10-15 level backfires like this, so it's the equivalent exchange. Next episode though, only from the tiny bits of the preview, I think it's gonna be one of the best animated episodes in Wano. Now Toshi Shira seems to be doing a lot on it. Henry Thurlow said he storyboarded a section and animated 2 full minutes, which is insane, especially with these designs. He also said the episode is gonna be a lot more stacked. The animation director is most likely Tu Young-soo, who is the MVP of the anime right now, with Oren vs Kaido under his belt. I think this will be one of the best animated episodes, especially when we haven't seen a lot of familiar animators so far on the rooftop, like the greatest One Piece animator, Katsumi Ishizuka. We don't know who the director will be so far, but the episode overall does look solid in compositing and storyboard. About CGI Kid, I'm so glad that it looks this good. There's a clear amount of effort on it and the design is absolutely sick. Thanks for watching, like and sub, and we'll meet again with the best action episode in One Piece next week.